Hello everyone, welcome to my Module 10 teaching memo. Social distancing continues, although some states are opening gradually, which I think is a mistake. I think it's too early. Japan's northern island of Hokkaido lifted restrictions and a second wave of infections was worse than the first. So that's the big fear, why I think we need to wait longer. Dr. Laura, Sophie, and I are managing to separate our workspaces. I can't imagine what it would be like to have children in the house. One of the benefits of growing old. My hair is getting a little scraggly. I don't think I've had it this long since the early 70s when it was fashionable. On a more serious note, I've been trying to keep in touch with candidates who are struggling. Steve Bruno, who's the Director of Advisement, I have his email in the transcript of this video, has been providing students who I have brought to his attention links to services. So you can contact him if you feel you need assistance, or you can contact me and then I will get you in touch with him. So please keep me informed if you are struggling. Those of you who I've contacted already know that I'm very concerned. And want things to work out, especially during this troublesome time. Okay, housekeeping. The end is nigh. Only 2 modules left with lots of uploading to do. Your revised select a response test needed to be uploaded in Module 10. Of course, you have till the end of the semester to upload that. I hope you do it sooner than that so I won't be stuck grading 2 weeks after the semester ends, which happens. Your revised select response test, as I mentioned, needs to be uploaded in Module 10, your 3-part analytic summary in Module 11, and your vocabulary in your own words and 3-part analytic summary in Module 12. All of which you should have been working on already if you took Dr. Tom's advice throughout the semester. Make sure you scroll through your grades. When you click on your grades, I think it gives you your list from top to bottom. Make sure you haven't missed anything. I've gone through and some people have missed quizzes back in Module 2 or 3. So make sure you check that out because at the end of the semester, if it's not done, I automatically just post a 50 in there. So you don't want that. I've tried to notify people who have things missing, but I know most people don't check your email regularly. And that's the only way I communicate other than remind. The reason I had people send me their cell phone numbers is this semester I've used text messages to contact people many times. People that have just dropped off the face of the earth, and they've gotten back to me that way. Because they don't check their email, don't check the Truro email, so that turns out not to be the most effective way. But I am mandated. That's the only way I communicate with you. But as I advise all teachers, there are some things that you do that aren't mandated that you have to do. So that's the way I work. So. Also, you should have received an email about pass-fail option. Again, you must check your Truro email. And explains how it's done. You don't do it through me. I don't make that decision. You have to fill out a form. You send it in. They send me a notice that you're taking a pass-fail. So it's not a direct to the professor activity. So make sure you check your emails if you're planning on taking a pass-fail. I have not given a lot of people 5s in the connections category of the discussion board. That's the very last one. That's where you take what you're learning, apply it in class, and tell us how it went, or that you just are going to do it. And this is the discussion where that is happening much more. So that's good. You don't have to use what I'm saying. That only gives you an extra 2 points, like from a 98 to 100 if you got all 5s. So it's not a big deal, but it's an advanced category that if you're using something from this class, you should get some advanced credit for it. So that's how I give extra credit. It's actually advanced rating, an A+. And so I don't give. I've already received a request for extra credit. And of course, I think I've made this pretty well known. I don't give extra credit. I expect you to get your extra credit by going to the advanced level of, say, the discussions. That's how you get extra credit. Not that I've sloughed off for 3 months or 4 months, and now I want to do something to get extra credit. So that's not how it works. Finally, please consider giving me feedback in the My Evaluation discussion board. There's a separate discussion board that's not the Turo evaluation that you're receiving in your emails. It's just for me to get immediate feedback so I can upgrade my course. Now, this is when you probably have noticed, especially if you're in section 21, that I'm upgrading the course as I go through. So those of you that ask to get notices when anything changes, you've been getting notices when I've been changing the course. I've been trying to put my documents right into Canvas so you don't have to go through my Google Docs. So that's something you may have noticed has changed. Okay. I am especially looking for feedback on fairly new activities. I've tried the past 2 semesters overlapping discussion boards, the progress monitoring discussion board, create the TPS modified discussion board. I've already got ideas. People have already given me feedback about that. I'm considering doing the discussion first about quality, and then your initial post will be posted last, which would be the rubric. So that's some feedback I've gotten already from you folks. So that will be helpful, because the whole purpose of that discussion is that you talk about quality rather than giving feedback like, this is wonderful, I like you have 1 point here, this is 2 points. Those are okay, but you're not really talking about the quality of the product, which was my goal, is that you talk about those 3 exemplars. And I'm also going to put different qualities of those exemplars, like a very good, a good, and then a not so good. So at least you'll have an idea of what does a bad or a not so good 3-part analytic city look like. So there's no way in Blackboard you can make anonymous. I could make the discussion board that you can make anonymous posts. I don't know how to do that in Canvas, if you can or you can't do. So just you have to trust that I'm not going to use your feedback in a negative way, and I hope you realize that I'm not like that. And please give me feedback in that discussion board. I'll be pinning it today. So you have 2 weeks to make comments. Okay, Module 11, the modified discussion board for the 3-part analytic city rubric is closed. Although, like all of the discussion boards recently, I will leave it open and revise grades if necessary. Those of you that are still making posts on the revised selected response discussion board, thank you, thank you, thank you. There are several people one person just posted a few days ago. You need to understand that people are struggling and they're now trying to catch up. So please go back to that revised selected response test discussion board and take those people's tests. Scroll through and see who doesn't have 5 results. And if you didn't post results, if you just gave feedback, please post your results, because that's what the 3-part analytic summary is all about. So thank you. Thank you to all those who've done it already. In this module, we will continue our discussion of formative assessment and grading practices that don't distort achievement. Many of you have used this discussion board to outline how the course has been like the strategies of Miss W. And thank you. I mean, I hope it's obvious, because I modeled this is that video was done back in 2004, I think, um, and and I modeled my course on that. I thought I was so impressed by Miss W and the way she went about creating the writing program that I said, man, I am going to try to model that. And in many ways I have. I've also tried to model grading practices that don't distort achievement. Those of you who've missed an assignment notice that it's a 50, and it really, that 50 in most cases, except for discussion boards that have closed, that 50 is just a placeholder. So when you hand in your assignment, I give you full credit for it. I do not dock points for lateness. To me, if you've mastered something, especially with the initial post, I give everybody 100 for that if you've uploaded it. The main purpose is to just have it checked by SafeAssign for plagiarism. And you can check that yourself. There should be a little percentage. If you see a percentage that's greater than 35 or 40%, you need to go in and look and see why that is. And what it usually means is that you're using the same language or you're using the same quotes as somebody else. In rare cases, it means you plagiarize something, but that's very rare. So there are strategies I've tried to model because we tend to teach the way we're taught as opposed to what we are taught. Instructionally oriented assessment discussion board at IOA, someone emailed me and wanted to know what the IOA discussion board was, and so I thought I didn't realize that I hadn't spelled out those letters. It's been open for 3 weeks and will be open for 1 more. I will be popping in to react to some of your comments throughout the week, as I have been in the last couple of weeks. So make sure you check back after posting. The whole purpose of this discussion is see how people are reacting to your comments, and then go deeper, and then, oh no, I disagree with that, and here's why. And then you share an article about cheating, or you share an article about docking points, or like last semester someone shared that article about gaming redos and retakes. So I added that to ancillary material. So that's what I want. I want you to go deeper. So as I mentioned before, I'm continually trying to upgrade it. And that article on gaming redos and retakes was one somebody shared last semester. And some of you have mentioned it already. Good stuff. That article was about how allowing do-overs demotivates the kids who do it first. And that to me is so much BS, is that kids that are getting their work done on time are motivated intrinsically. I mean, I was one of those kids. I didn't care that Joe Schmo over here wasn't doing his homework, and if he got full credit for handing it in late, why would I care? Why would I say, oh, I'm not going to hand mine in on time, I'm going to wait? No, I want to get it off my plate. And most kids do. They don't want to come back during recess or come back during after school. Now, that having makeup during recess is something we all should talk about. I know older kids would much rather stay in, say, middle school kids. I don't think they get recess at high school. But middle school kids usually have like a 20-minute lunch and then a 20-minute time to go outside and run around if they want. So that's a good point for this discussion. How do we get kids to do the work? When do they come back? I know in my wife's district, they have a 9th period from, I know in the high school it's from like 2:10 to 3 o'clock or 2:15 to 3 o'clock, where they have to stay, and that's for kids to come in and get help. The problem is busing. They have to wait till the sports buses come at 5 o'clock or 4:30 or whatever. I am always trying to add to my pre-K resources, and I shared an article, Blessing Assessment in Kindergarten, Meeting Children Where They Are. I'm not sure if I added that to my course, but I'm going to add it this week, so look for it. The author mentions a variety of techniques and focuses somewhat on assessing ELLs. She mentions running records, checklists, and provides some resources you might find useful. For all you birth through two people, you may find it stimulating. I will be grading your modified discussion board and revised SR test, or selected response test, during the week. I will not be giving a great deal of feedback because I feel that when I grade your selected response test, I'll be making comments right on your test. So that's it for this week. I will be back with one more teaching memo next Monday. Keep your head down and get the work done.